Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Good to
Tell
see you.
me.
Hello,
Hi.
Kausar. We are one
Hi.
more
I
time
can't
with the
imagine we're
People
in number
Society.
12 now. Oh my God.
So that's Pillar 12.
Welcome, welcome to the 13 Pillar Society of Peace.
And
Yes,
the
we
13 Pillar
are in
Society
number
for
12.
Peace. If we want peace, we need a better
Yes.
economy, definitely. So this pillar is all about economy, fair economy, conscious economy, how we would like this economy, how we can have it, so people can be relaxed in peace with at least the minimum to live and to live with dignity. So it's such a beautiful subject today. It's one pillar, but it covers so many ideas, subjects, vision, practical solutions as well. So I'm very happy we can cover that today with you, Kausar. And again, Kausar is in Lebanon, I am in Bolivia, and sometimes we just overlap. So it's about the delay, the internet delay.
Well,
So
today it seems
sorry,
like
Kausar.
I cannot hear you very well. I don't know if we have a.
Do you have echo or it's too
Can you
low?
hear me well?
Yes. Okay, let's go. Yes, yes, we can hear
I
you
get
perfectly,
I cannot hear the whole sentence.
but we can
Okay.
hear you.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Today, the 13 Pillar Society of Peace. We are in number 12, and this is the conscious economy. Conscious economy is it's exchanging of energy with the money. So, how you exchange energy with the money? Basically, everything you do, it has a value. So, whenever you give something, that you need to get something back in return, and it could be money. And in all days and in all societies, they did trading before. They used to trade food, different thing from food product with something else. Like if you have rice, I have a different grain. We can trade that, and then we can live happily ever after until the currency appear and everybody start working with currency, and then the money start taking place, and then the bank, and then all the thing that we get to see now, the crash of the economy and all the society that we live in, trying to take over our life, and we're just working so hard to try to sustain our living. And this is where it comes from. A fair economy is sustainable economy, where sustainable economy can go around in circle economy, green economy, and blue economy, holistic economy as well. So between the all these topic, we're gonna get into them in each one of them in details, and tell you more about it, and see what conscious economy can do for us as a human being all over the global to maintain a better lifestyle. So let's watch the video, and then we can talk about all this topic.
Thrive, What on Earth Will It Take? Became one of the most widely seen documentaries in history. It held the promise of a future that allows humanity to truly thrive. In 2020, Thrive 2, This is What It Takes, delivers on that promise.
We heard from over 1,000 innovators from all over the world who told us about their technologies, inventions, and insights.
Our attention shifted from possibilities to results. The breakthroughs we saw were so profound that we knew we had to get this information out for others to see.
The test is successful.
Dude!
Thrive 2. This is what it takes.
As we see the movie, I wish that anybody who is watching this episode today, to watch this Thrive Movement movie. There's part 1 and there's part 2 now. In 2020, they did part 2. I was following that movie since 2012, 2013, and all what was going on into every community. And then we realized how important for us to see all that together. There were over 50,000 NGOs and organizations all over the world now following this kind of criteria, trying to improve our society and highlighting the issue that we created ourselves for this kind of economy that we live into, and the crash that we have lately with the economy, the rent and work and all the stress that we got just to make some money just to survive. We're trying to get rid of that by creating sustainable economy where economy can take place for exchanging this energy with money, or with with some kind of exchange that we can create to create a better life for us to without this stress that we're just working just to pay rent, working to pay the debt, that the credit cards and all this kind of thing. So watching this kind of movie, it's opened our eyes in what we are doing wrong here. So I really want you to watch this movie and realize that the economy, it's really that we talk about so many pillars already, the 11 other pillars that we talked about, and we divide them in a way that all of them connected to the economy. If we don't have money, we cannot purchase anything. If we don't have money, we cannot live in a house. If we don't have money, we don't really have a life. So economy is based on all the and it's a main top pillars in our society, because if we don't make it sustainable, and we cannot make any project sustainable, we cannot continue. So going into sustainability in the economy as well is not only just a green economy as well. We're going to talk about holistic economy. We're going to talk about the blue economy, and then the recycling economy as well. All the three of them or the four of them that I'm listing now, they all get together and combine with each other. You cannot separate them. But at the end, if we understand each one separately and how it goes, we cannot really go deep into each one of them, because each one is going to take us so much to explain. But I'm sure that you can watch the movie, search a little bit more about it, know exactly how you're going to set a more portfolio for yourself and your lifestyle, and just make sure that you can really survive with whatever you can get and make it sustainable. So if you have a little money now and you can put it in something that can return back more the amount, or a little bit more out of it, so you can sustain this kind of process. And this is where we're coming from. So let's just go with the slide and
so is it big enough? Yeah, it's good. We are with pillar number 12. I can remind you. Is it the sound okay? No echo? Giovanna, is it okay? Yeah. Your microphone. The microphone. I can do it.
Oh, yes. Hi, how are you
Hello.
doing, Noemi? Good. Yes, I'm from backstage. The sound is very good. Yes, there you are.
Now I can hear you.
Yeah.
So we are with the 30 Pillar Society again. This is one more program, number 12. just to remind you, you can
Oh
see
my
all
gosh.
the previous videos. With number 1,
Episode.
it was sport. 2 was earth, preventive earth, high tech, low tech, quantum education, new geopolitics and solidarity, peace culture, social multi-education, art, bioarchitecture. Yeah, we did all that. Alternative means of energy, ecology, and now number 12, the conscious economy or fair economy. Now there is so many names. We found like 6, 7 new trends, and not too new. The first one is from the beginning of the other century. But now we found so many trends with new economy. It's fabulous. Kawasar, are you here or is it frozen? Yeah. So that was the start. That was the way it was before. So this is for Kawasar.
Well, I can tell you, as we see in the picture before, the how they set the economy list, and if you see in the bottom all the companies, gas companies, and then you see the banks, and then you see the capital who control the banks, and then you see like in the main top just 2-3 people who control all that. And it's all over the world. It's not only in the state. And then we realize this kind of thing, it doesn't work for us anymore. And then we really need to start doing different kind of economy that where everybody can be in charge and nobody's taking our money and profit. Sorry.
So now the idea is actually, let's see this, is to reverse this. I mean, this is really
Exactly.
was not working. It was not sustainable. It was not toward peace culture. This caused many war and many injustice in the world.
Exactly, especially when it goes to gas. The first group is a chain of company where they control electricity and gas and all the and pharmaceuticals and stuff. These main company, they were after the one after Tesla towers. They were behind so many other invention that it's already there and it's already present. They don't want it to be on the market because they can lose a lot of money, and they do pay for the people to do the research. So the research, it's always biased for them because they're the one who is buying who paying the money, and they really need to control it by the meters. And most of the new technology, if we really watch it and see what we have talked about before, most of the new technology, it's free and you don't have to control it by the meter thing. So anything is not measurable for them, and they cannot make money from it. They don't want it to be in the market. And then we realize that, and we know if we really keep going through this program, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going down the hill. So, and this is like really small amount of people who really benefits from that. Maybe it's less than 10% all over the world for the people who really have the money. And we can see the poverty increase and all this thing that we see all over the place increase because we're really following the wrong strategy. So as we were speaking about the green economy in 1989, I think, what's his name? Arthur McCarthy. He created the green economy, and everybody started thinking about it and trying to create sustainable market, for everybody, so they can survive and they don't have to stress out about certain living, and especially just a simple living, just to have a house, to have a safe place to live. Fair and conscious economy. Fair, local and global economy, remapping of resource and their rational distribution. Cut the false and artificial economy and consumption. Information campaign, sustainable independent local economy, international solidarity economy. And this is what we're really looking for here, and exactly what we're talking about. So we're really trying to enforce this new mindset, and as what you can see now, all the new school now, they're trying to enforce this kind of materials in the entrepreneurship. So when you go to study a new business to open up, you do study the revenue out of it and see if this kind of business is going to the revenue of your business is going to return the money that you're gonna put this year, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whenever the amount that you're gonna put on this kind of business, and see if this kind of sustainability is gonna be present for this project. If this not present, they wouldn't do it. And most the new school now trying to use the same technology now and terminology. So they're trying to get rid of it, of all that, which is wonderful. And this is what we really need it now.
Yeah, actually, this pillar number 12 at the beginning was called fair economy, and then we put fair and conscious economy, because it's not only fair that we have what we need. You have to be conscious, and that means, and you can see on the little drawing here, it means help each other, be happy. I love this one with the baby, the trees and the sky, meaning ecology, and as well you have a sustainable, independent local economy. Yes, that's about to be more reasonable and more, how will you say, common sense.
Yes.
That's why we said, and there's so many ideas here. First, to rely more on the local economy. Two, the distribution of the foods. It doesn't make sense to bring milk from New Zealand all the way to Bolivia at the other end of the world, with the cost of transportation, the cost of contamination, the cost of all the transportation chain. So that's not, that's what I call common sense. And the culture. When we say cut the false and artificial economy of consumption, there is an old culture that was most forced on us, with all the publicity and that it was cool to have and have and have. And this is really not true. So now we are talking about a culture, a new philosophy, where happiness and the quality of life is more important than the level of living. So that's what we call now fair and conscious economy with this pillar. But there is much more. So let's go on. Oh, and of course, this will cover the bank system, and the financing system should be reformulated completely. So that's another subject that's go under this pillar. This is what I was talking about, the standard of living. Do you want to do it, Kausar?
Standard of living refer to the level of wealth, comfort, material goods, and necessity available to the certain social economy class or geographic area. Quality of life, on the other hand, is a subjective term that can measure happiness. Yes. So basically, what you're saying here, we need to value our needs, and when we talked about this before, when we meet our needs with the mental mind, that we can create the attraction for the money. We always think money, 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 money. We don't know that we're when we think about it this way, we're keeping it away from us. But when we try to get the nature of quality of life that we're looking for, we're gonna have it as part of exchanging of energy. So we don't want to think about it as part that we really need it and then we really need to work hard for it. No, we need to think about it as exchanging of energy for certain product that I really necessity for me to live in for, and I'm changing this energy with the money. So just by thinking about it this way, the money is gonna flow, and then everything else is gonna be maintained through sustainability and the way that I'm gonna think about money from now on, And then when you mentioned the banks too, I'm gonna go back again to the Thrive Movement movie. At the end of the movie, it's a long movie, actually. It's over an hour and a half. But at the end, they do provide the solution for us. And if you go and just put a solution, and then you can just see that part of the movie where we really wanted to work first from our community. We really need to go buy grocery from the, like you were saying, from the grocery store in the neighborhood. I don't want to go to the big market and buy grocery store. Buy from the small local area and invest in the local community. I mean, have a small bank, have a small community where they can sponsor each other and work with each other to make it big later on. But just start with a small local area. Use prevention, holistic medicine for so many things, because we're gonna see that when you connect all these dots together, that the 12 pillar that we have talked about, all that the sessions, through the sessions, you're gonna realize money, it's just a materialistic issue that we have in our life, and we don't know how to deal with it. To deal with it, you just have to think about it as exchange of energy. I can say this over and over. Just think about it, exchange of these material with money, and then you really need to have this money. You don't have to think about it so much, because you can put it away from you. As long as you're matching this energy, the money's gonna come.
Perfect. And about the standard of life, before it was like that. It was standard of life. I need a house, own house, or 2 or 3, and a car, if possible, of the same year, and my clothes has to have the brand,
yes,
kids, and my shoes, and my kids have to go to such and such school and university, and that was the standard of life. And now there is a reverse philosophy, or I would say culture. Instead of a standard of life, which was from outside, actually, it was because people will see how good I am, which is not true. That was a fake values.
Yes.
Now we talk about quality of life. Now that's very nice, because quality of life is about happiness. It's about what I really want, my purpose of life. My purpose of life maybe is not to have 3 houses and 5 cars. That was really a concept it posed from outside. And now we can be more, I would say free, maybe, or we can decide, this is my own power, my empowerment, or I'm empowered myself with what I want and need, and it's linked with what I want to do and offer to the humanity, and my talents and abilities I want to give back. So it's an entire new culture. And this is part of the 13 pillar society. So I wanted to mention quality of life, like Bhutan. Bhutan has the highest happiness quotient in the world, and it's not about standard of living by any way. Yes, Kausal.
Actually, the car, the house, the pet, because you gotta have a dog or and this is the American dream. You work so hard just to pay the mortgage for your house, and to pay another mortgage on your car, and to have a pet, and you don't have a time to enjoy the house because you're working so hard to make this payment. So a lot of people realize this is not the life they wanted, and they wanted to have the purpose of their life. And then we see this shift happen recently, the last couple years, and then everybody starts working on something more sustainable and something more affordable. So you see a lot of migration from different states to another, to Florida, maybe to certain places where economy is more stable or more lower, that they can afford, especially living in California. I know the economy is really, really expensive there. So we see a lot of people moving from there to different states, so where they can afford to live more simple life and have their own purpose to it. And then I realized that a lot too, the new generation, because my daughter used to go to college here in Lebanon. I used to see her friends come into me to do certain hypno sessions, and just can you please help me find my purpose on life? They don't want to go the same style that we live in, and they do just live very much like a simple life now. But what they really look for, like the thing that you were talking about, is the joy and the happiness. And then this generation, and I always talk about them, there's so much givers. They really give a lot from their time. You see a lot of volunteer from them. You see a lot of researcher from them as well. They came back to Earth to adjust it again, because we lost that time big time, and we're paying off what we have done all these years. We know the economy that we have worked on lately, it's crashed big time, and then if we're gonna stay focusing on that, we're gonna go further on that. So trying to go with this information, just going up the hill again, and raising the economy and the consciousness of our community to go up, and realize the money is just a materialistic thing that we can have it exchange with some kind of material that we need.
Beautiful. And it goes hand in hand with responsible consumption and production,
Yes.
which is Karina. Hi,
Hi, Karina.
There is also so many factors and impact our quality of life, and it is also related to our right and freedom. Great program today. Thank you, Karina.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, please put your comments and ideas and countries and what you do, because all the pillars of the 13 Pillar Society are very important, and they concern us. I mean, it's not philosophy here. It's the new society we want to build. Not only we want, we are doing it now, step by step,
Yes.
little by little. Each country, each house. I mean, you will see later on with this PowerPoint, local economy or even house economy, just where we are is so important. Do you want to read this one about responsible consumption?
It is about doing more and better with less. It is also about decoupling economic growth from environment degradation, increase resource efficiency, and promoting sustainable lifestyle. And this is exactly what we say when we talk about money. So I mean, for the time, I love the tree and with all these signs in it. And then we're gonna see the economy, the recycling economy. It can go between all these, from electricity to green economy to blue economy. All that mentioned last week. Actually, we talked a lot about the solar panels and about the electricity, about Tesla and how he created all that. Imagine if the electricity can be free. Imagine all this resource if it could be recyclable, and it could be reusable again, and we don't have to pay money for all that. So we're really looking for this kind of thing. First of all, it's not only freeing ourselves and from all the stress that the lifestyle that we created for that created around us. It put a lot of stress on us because the month is very short. I mean, just a couple of days and you realize, I have to pay rent for again in the next month, and I have to do this and that. Just by thinking about that, you put yourself on stress and you lose a lot of your energy. By creating sustainable energy, you can have money over the time where you're asleep. And this is what I used to tell my friend: I need to make money when I'm
That's
sleepy.
a good idea. Me too.
Yeah, so we don't have to think about it twice. We don't have to lose this energy for something that really crucial on our life. And especially, we really have to have a house to live. We really have to have a family, and this is why we're here on Earth. I mean, we do have a purpose, and our purpose is not to work so hard like slave just for the money. And this is our main concern now.
Exactly. I think the main word here is about consciousness. If
Yes.
there is consciousness, for instance, if to get so much wood to sell for carpenters, how many trees do I really plant to make up for it? Is it okay with the environment and the social life? Am I taking the forest from indigenous people? It's all about consciousness. And when the consciousness is high, it's plural. And with that, that's why all the programs is about to raise consciousness. All the programs is to find the purpose of life. All the programs are about to do things from a different vision and a higher level of consciousness. Actually, it's called the un octava superior de conciencia. It's a higher octave of consciousness. Like do re mi fa sol la si do. We go from do, si, do, re, mi. It's like maybe we do the same or the same areas with the 13 pillars are so similar with the past, but with a new vision and level of consciousness. And that makes the entire difference. And I know that's why we know the new society is going to be so different.
Wonderful. What is matter? Economic and social progress over the last century has been accompanied by environmental degradation that is endangering the system on which our future development and very survival depend. Yes, exactly. This is what we were talking about. Yeah. How can I feel? How can I help as a consumer? Yes. Reducing your waste. Yes, definitely. Recycling. Being truthful about what you buy and choose sustainable, optional whenever possible. There are 6 consciousness consumption questions. Why do I need to buy this? What should I buy? How can I buy this? And from whom should I buy it? How can I use it? And how to dispose how to dispose of this kind of material. Actually, we realized lately, especially I've been studying so many things about herbs and planets and all that. The last week I had a project with some students. They came to clean the urban forest here, small forest, because they were talking about so much fire and from the weather getting so hot. So we went and cleaned the ground, and then we realized we have so much materials and wood because over the winter we had so many storms and they cut so many branches of the trees and the woods were all over the place. We got shutters and we make all these materials, a small, wood again, so people can use them on their fireplace, and then we sell them. So this kind of project, it didn't, cost us anything except some volunteers to go there, and then we had the equipment, and then we had to sell it to the people. And the people were so pleased because it didn't cost us too much. So we sold it for a good price. So this kind of thing, it's always present now in people's mind. And I think because the economy now, it's kind of frustrating everyone to lead a new idea in the green economy. So you realize all this new generation trying to create a lot of great things. So they're bringing all the clothes or sweaters and all that. They're trying to rip it off and use the string again and sew some kind of necklace and all that, and creating something from recycling material and sell it again. We're trying to promote this kind of activities in here so we can help this small entrepreneurs to grow their own business, and especially from the recycling materials. I know it's a lot to talk about here, but I'm just trying to give an example. And just thinking what you were saying earlier about the trees, there's so many plants that we can grow. Some of them cannabis, that they grow so much. The hemp that doesn't have any THC in it, and it's very important for so many corporate to grow them and use them instead of cutting tree and using it on for papers and for fiber material for different kind of tools. And Ford, the first car from Ford was used from fiber from hemp. So hemp was used in all days, even in Egypt, for as a fabric. They used to wrap the mummy with hemp as well too, because it's very thick and the fiber are very strong. So there's so many options that we have now, and we already know this. And trying to focus and highlight this information so people can think twice before they cut tree, or they think twice before they go purchase something very expensive just because they do have a brand in it, like you were talking about this. I mean, and most of the people in the States go buy things from Walmart, just maybe the cheapest place on there. When I moved back here in Lebanon, I realized everybody wanted to wear the brand. I was like, okay, you guys just try to think about it twice and see.
Kawsar, come back. This is the next slide. Is about conscious consumption. I'm going to say it. Think before you buy. The thing I like very much from the last slide is from who I should buy. I knew I was taking classes of the Andean cosmovision of the Andes. And the teacher used to say, when you go to the market, go and look for the oldest lady. And that's true. We have grandmothers and grandfathers that sell in the market, the local market. And they said, buy from them, because if they go to the market and want to sell their product, they need it. And it's hard for them. They are very, very old. So buy from them. And then I always remember that. And now we can see Karina again. The concept of reduce, reuse, and recycle is good. The 3 R. Yep. Thank you, Karina. Think before you buy. Commit to buying a percentage. Hey, Giovanna.
Hey, I'm visiting
you. You're always there. Always.
Yes.
You want to read the conscious consumption?
Yes. I wanted to
see you.
Yes. The conscious consumption, first is think before you buy. This is a lot of related to reduce, isn't it? Like think before you buy it. If you have it, if you don't have it, and then commit to buying a percentage of your wardrobe secondhand. Yes, secondhand is that secondhand now is very, very trendy here in United States between the group of teenagers, because they kind of first they think about the vintage idea of the clothing, but another this aspect of this trend is that they are reusing things as well. So I have seen that many of these kids go to the thrift stores where they sell this kind of clothing, and they are doing so. So it's great. I'm thinking
here just a word of warning. If you buy secondhand, you have the energy of the person, of the first person, right? So you put your clothes in salty water for 1 day and 1 night. The salt would absorb the energy. So when you wear these clothes, you don't have to carry all the energy and karma of the other person. So you just wash with salt.
Yes.
You soak with salt for 1 day and 1 night. I used to do that.
Yes. And that's great. That's a great tip, because as everything is energy, so we are very aware of that. Very good. So, and then the third one is join your local free recycle or free Frigo group. Those groups of recycling here in the area in the United States, there's a very big movement for recycling. So That's a very good idea too. A part of the reduce, reuse, and recycle. Then borrow at least one item instead of buying the next month. So those are little things that you can do. Find a fair trade version of a regular purchase. Then rent your dress next time you have a posh do, maybe a party. Support your local interdependent businesses. That's very important. And here in the area where I'm living here in the United States, in Sugar Land, Texas, and there's a lot of farm markets, and they are being held on the weekends. So Saturdays, all the farmers in the area, they come and they sell their products. It's very nice because you see so many things that are not just the products like the farm products, but so many people that it's trying to share all the talents, like DIY things and in some marmalades that they have done at home. So it's very interesting to see how you can support all these little farm markets. Then learn new skill and make something from scratch. That's what I'm saying. I know so many people that it's very crafty, and they're selling all of those. When you go to these small towns here in, as I'm saying, in the United States, there is a part in the area of Texas that is called the Hill Country area, and in all of these towns, the main idea is to support all these DIY, the crafty persons, people. So they have fairs and they have all of these events where they can sell their products, or they can trade it too. So then create a list of things you need and want to see how many you can source secondhand. That's what we were saying, the thrift trends. And buy less and buy better. I'm thinking that buy less is a very good idea, isn't it?
Yes.
So we buy so many things.
Don't go shopping when you're hungry.
Yeah, don't go shopping.
I love this one. Don't go shopping if you are hungry.
And I like this image. But when you see all different things, swap and borrow, interest, and then all of these in buy is the littlest part. Just a little portion. Buy just a little portion. So that's good. That's what we can help and with our conscious consumption.
Yes, that's very good.
Yeah. Okay.
So the idea, how we said at the beginning, is to see that different trends, but this history from solidarity and social economy, that's more than 1 century now ago. Green economy, circular economy, fair trade, blue economy, holistic economy, sacred of gift economy. And see, the list is long, and I think every year you have new ideas. So this is very good. You know what does that mean? That there is a raise of consciousness. Because before, to talk about holistic economy, sacred of gift economy, you are crazy. And now you can see on all the social network, we talk about it and people are doing it. It's beautiful. Really, I love this program. So, let's start with the first one, SSE. Who wants to talk about that?
Oh.
Solidarity economy or social and solidarity economy? Go ahead, Kelsey. Thank you.
In 1937, Leon Wallace, solidarity economy or social and solidarity economy, a wide range of economic activity that aim to prioritize social profitable instead of pure financial profit, a key feature that distinguishing solidarity economy entitled from private and public enterprise and the participatory and democratic nature of governmental in decision-making process as one of the main principle of CCI sector. Canadian Worker.com. Okay, here as we see in the picture, it's a cycle of life. So solidarity can create a lot of sense on these manners. And we have seen this in a lot of international organization, nonprofit organization, with the governmental organization as well, trying to promote these kind of activities now. We have seen it during the time where we had disaster, and trying to cooperate with each other and trying to see our main issues and trying to solve it with each other as a social economist, entrepreneur all over the global, as international organization, that we have seen this a lot all over the place, which is wonderful, you know. So solidarity and can bring us together in so many projects now, and especially we have seen so many organizations start focusing only on that, and there is so many fund now from the government all over the place trying to fund these kind of projects so they can maintain this and educate people more about what the sustainable economy is. Green economy. Okay, green economy. Green economy is low carbon growth, resource efficiency, and social inclusivity. When we talk about sustainable development and green economy, we remember always it's one of the result in increasing human well-being and social equity while reducing environmental risk and ecological sacrifice. It aims for sustainable development without any degrading the environmental. So we really have to combine the conscious that you were talking about, the consciousness with whatever we have to, not to do any harm to anyone, to nature, to human, and to the resource that we're getting from it, and to have these kind of economy sustainable for a longer period of time. So now we think more 5 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And then we realize the oil that we have is not going to last more than 100 years. So we're trying to find another solution for our economy and to get this kind of energy in our life back in different resource. And so if we start now, maybe 100 years later, we're going to be 100% green economy. Yes.
We have the principles.
Well-being principle, green economy, and the...
¿Quieres seguir, Giovanna? Tu micrófono.
Yes.
Okay. Again?
Green principles. The green economy follows five key principles, and this is a well-being principle. You know, like, as you're seeing all those pictures, we're going toward the well-being of everyone. So, and then the justice principle. It needs to be a fair economy with fair prices and fair for all the areas of the population. Then the planetary boundaries principle. And when we talk about the planetary boundaries principle, it is as Kawsar was saying, you know, we have to look for some alternatives now, as we have been seeing in the other program when we were talking about energy. That is our main concern in these times. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about the planetary boundaries too. We have to consider some kind of energies that are sustainable and that are not harmful to our planet. Yes, because as Kausar was mentioning, we have 100 years of this kind of energies that we are using right now. So let's find some other solutions. And then the for efficiency and sufficiency principle. And this is the same thing, isn't it? Like trying to get all these kinds of sustainable resources in an efficient and way that covers not just a part of the population, but we try to consider the whole humanity. Like considering all of us. So then good governance principle, I'm thinking that is a very important thing, and it's part of what we related to what we titled today the program, like conscious conscious economies. So it begins in of course in our governments too. So perfect consciousness again.
Sorry about my internet. I realize every couple minutes I lose the Wi-Fi, so I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. You're
No
very
problem.
welcome. Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Welcome back.
Yes.
And
The
please,
circle
if
economy
you
by
have
Helen
stable
Keller.
internet in your country, appreciate it
Yes.
and say
Yes.
thank you. Because some people they say, "Oh, it's so slow because it took more than 1 second to handle something." At least you have
Yeah.
internet. Thank you.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
go to the circular.
The Circular
Economy.
Economy by Helen MacArthur. Yes, Helen MacArthur created this in what I think in 1989. I'm not sure, but eliminate waste and pollution, circulate product and materials, regenerate nature, and circle economy, decouple economy activity from the consumption of finite resource. So as we see here, even the the money is recycling. Everything is recycling and on a way. The way of nature itself. I mean, it is recycling. The water vapor and it become rain and it goes down and it recycle itself. So everything, every kind of material that we really need to create. And I had a presentation one time about the how long does each thing stay in the ground without getting diluted or goes into the ground, from the plastic to the cigarette to the containers of whatever, to plastic bag to paper bag and all that. So we realized how much awareness that we create around us in the community. So all this new generation now, they're using all this paper straw. They don't use the straw any longer. They don't want to use a paper bag at the store. We try to make a fabric bag that you can take it every time you go shopping. So all these little things here and there, we didn't see it before, even though in old days they used to use it. But we brought this new technology, and we thought plastic is the best thing that we create, and we realized how bad is it for nature and for our economy as well. So we start getting back to the main thing that we had and recycling material all over again, using all that. And you mentioned that, Giovanna, living in a state, I remember in Virginia, when they used to come and take the recycling material, they used to bring me a coupon book where I can go purchase some stuff for free to encourage me to do that. So nowadays that they can pay you for whatever plastic that you have or metal or whatever. And most municipality making good money from that and trying to recycle and give them the opportunity to do this kind of economy, sustainable economy. And this is really wonderful. I mean, you can do it all over the thing. It's just not only from the trash, you can recycle anything. One of the idea that came to my mind when we were doing camping last year with the kids, 2 years ago actually, we went and cleaned the ocean, the beach, and then we get a lot of materials from the cleaning the beach. We collect them and we ask the kids to make a portrait with it, or an art with it. So you wouldn't imagine. I would share some picture later on with you on the thing that they create. So from just recycling trash material at the beach, there were some cans and covers and sticks and stuff here and there. We collect them and we made a piece of art, and they were so happy to do that because they were trying to be more creative. And this is some part of finding a solution for a lot of stuff as well too.
Yes. Yes.
Circle economy again. Raw material, recycle, residual waste, exactly, repair and consumption, distribution, and production.
Yes, and I like this kind of images.
Remanufacture and design.
Yes.
That's why we see, please, okay, please the internet. Okay, this is why again you see a lot of people asking to donate the unused cell phone and computers and furniture, because they can really reuse them again, or they can make something out of it as well too, And then you know what, they're selling the fried oil that from the restaurant, they fried the
Yes.
stuff 2-3 times, and after that the oil doesn't you cannot use it anymore, and you cannot really throw it. So they sell that and they try to make something out of it and use it for another purpose. So basically now we can recycle everything. So
Yes.
we're trying to do that really, and there's so many options.
You know what they do with this oil, and I remember this because I have seen this you being used again. My I'm thinking that my mother-in-law, no, my sister-in-law, she was married to one man that it's a Brazilian. So they had a soap recipe, they made a very nice soap where you could just use for cleaning your clothes. And I remember that it was very good, using all of this oil that was going to be disposed actually, and then they had a recipe. They mixed with I don't know what was the name, but it's kind of an acid. So they mix it and then they get all this soap. Oh, that's so incredible, isn't it? So I'm thinking that this is the best, a very good way of doing things, recycling things, reusing things. And as you mentioned, there are so many programs here in all these places where they sell the electronics. They are also asking for you to give them back all these old electronics where you can take all of them there and do that.
Wow.
Yes.
And with the circular economy, 2 more things. You see the third point, distribution.
Yes.
Now the trend is 0-0-0. Try to have zero transportation, meaning the vertical farm they sell on the spot in the middle of the town.
Exactly.
If you can produce something on the spot, as you said, in this small village, and they produce on the spot, they don't have to have huge transportation. If you have to buy something, don't buy from the other end of the world. So stuff like that. And the second, 0-0-0 is zero transportation, zero emission of CO2, and zero poverty. That's 0-0-0 or 0-0-0, like 0-0-0 housing, 0-0-0 goods, etc.
Yes.
The second point, I want to ask to mention the schools. I know some schools, and it's beautiful. they have this center of recycling stuff. En español, centro de acopio. It will be like a center where you gather everything.
Yes.
And the kids, they know how to put everything at their where they have to do the inventory. They have to organize everything, put the clothes on the hangers. It looks pretty. And what they do, they organize how they recycle everything. If somebody in the neighborhood they need, or some other person who will need these items, or among themselves, they can share the clothes, the toys, the bicycle, whatever. Because when you're a kid, things you grow up so fast that your toys, your bicycle, and whatever you use, you don't use it anymore in a very short period of time. So it's
Yes.
good because when you do it inside the school, and the children from primary school and secondary school, of course, they organize everything, they are more conscious. And that's good to have this as a habit of life from very early age. So if you have a school, start your, how do you say, centro de acopio? Have your
It's a
recycling center,
recycling
and
center.
recycling center and redistribution with consciousness. Because no, I want everything, and then, or you can do a free fair as well when you exchange product, and you can start it inside the school. Okay, that was my little comment on circular economy. Welcome back, Kausar, and we go with the next slide.
Yeah, same thing. This is the same thing that we were watching as a consumer. How, as consumers, we can help, isn't it? This is how the consumer behavior must change to make a successful circular economy. And with this, I want to thank Fariha again, Fariha from Bangladesh, that she is part of our group, and she has been helping with a lot with all of this team for the 13 Pillar Society for Peace, because she has been gathering all this beautiful information and these beautiful pictures that that we are showing for you today. And yes, it's a very nice team, and we appreciate all of us. And this is another, the consumer behavior. We have to, recycle after all these when we think that the product has no more use for us and life, so you just go and begin again its cycle in a different way, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes.
And repair, we have, remember that repair, we have forgot about this concept here. when you live here, I mean, I know that here I'm talking about United States, this is a concept that we have lost. I mean, we have forgotten. I remember when I was living in back in Bolivia, we used to repair everything that was broken. And
everything.
Yes, I understand. We repair everything, and we use it until it's not, you can barely see it. the original form. But it's
the shoes, Giovanna. We
shoes.
repair the shoes up to the last last centimeter. Yeah. You can see each corner. You can repair shoes, car, computer,
bicycle,
everything.
Yes,
knives.
And we do not. And if you don't use it in the with the first purpose, you just use it for another thing. Okay, let's give it another use. So it's very interesting how all these little things, like older things, when we didn't have so many things, we used to do. Yes. And I'm thinking that we kind of could go back, and we could put that consciousness in ourselves and in our kids, just by telling them how we used to do things. We used to repair things, and that's another way that we could help do so.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, just by realizing how much material we consume in the house, how much stuff we have in the house, and we don't use maybe once or two times a year, and we realized that we were really buying everything for no reason, just because we really wanted to go and spend time on shopping. So I think after the quarantine and after the economy collapse and all that, we went back to our consciousness. And this is why I always think God knows the lessons from all this. For us, it was kind of hard. To tell you the truth, it wasn't easy. But many people, they were in the pajama all the time, and they were wearing the shirt just to go, online and just stay with their shorts, and because you don't see the lower part of you on the camera. So they were just doing their business online, and you realize there's so many businesses now online, and then there's so many even school and university giving their classes online, as we do now, that we're working all together on this project online from here to all over the world, trying to bring consciousness on these subjects. I mean, we realize that really the need of our society and the community that we live into is bringing this consciousness alive. And then we realize it's collective consciousness. It's not only like me and you talking about this now. And then everywhere you go, people wanted just to change, and they wanted to set the platform for this, where they can really apply everything that we're talked about into the government. And I think the government doing somewhere good job. Some other places, they still need a lot of work. But in the state, as you were saying, they already has started this platform. We're doing a lot because most the organization or the companies are, private companies. They're trying to set that as a PPP. They call it private. What's it? The PPP is some kind of economy that trade, that they can consume. So all this kind of material, I mean, there's a raw material for it. If we really think about the raw materials and how much we're wasting there, we can try to recycle it and get benefits out of it. And this is another way of thinking too. So the consciousness is really getting way better than before. And then I think we can definitely create a better economy for our children in the future.
Yes, what from this image, when we talk about the new consumers, I'm just being very aware of what it says: space for life, and kind of it is encouraging us to live more, isn't it? Like being more. You see a small flower over there. I'm thinking
Yes.
that to live more, to spend more of our time, with nature,
Yes.
observing things, just
Yes.
all of these things. And here, of course, all of these things have been monetized as well. Like when sometimes you have parks and you have places where you can go and you can pick some fruit, and then you can buy this fruit, and then there's some things that are monetized, but there's some things that you can do that are free and inexpensive. Go to parks, just share, just find out about the local nature, local plants. There's so many things that you can find about all these kinds of consumption, different ways of consumption. So I'm thinking that we have to go towards that. And the point is the consciousness. And there's another thing that it gives me that idea when it says experience the planet. Okay, experience the earth, experience the planet, experience everything that you have available right now.
Yeah.
We had so many retreats on working with different group of people, and they do travel to eastern part of the world, to India or to Asia, any places where they can have a different retreat. And then one time I went to Athena, and I had to study homeopathy there with one of the school there. It was on a beautiful island. We enjoyed the island, and I took the class. I stayed there over a month and so it was beautiful. And then when I went to check on the hotel, and my teacher was with me there, and another three girls. We were like a group of people going together. So anyway, to make the story short, we got into the hotel. It was only 3 star, so it wasn't everything there. So we barely have a good bed to sleep on, and all the other stuff is not there. So I didn't have a blow dryer. I didn't have certain things for me. So I was like, oh my gosh, we need to move to a different hotel where I can have all this luxury thing in it. And he complained. You know what he said? I still remember until now, and I realized how I used to think before.
Yes. Yes. And there's
And
no movement.
yeah, and I went. I really need to pay extra money to go into different hotel, better, nicer place. And then he said, you need to go to India and stay there for the whole week. Sleep in the floor. You don't have a bed, and you shower. You don't have a blow dryer, and all this kind of thing. I was like, oh no, I can't. And then, oh my gosh, when I went there and I tried this, I experienced this. I realized how foolish I was, just trying to stick into my mind with all these little things here and there, and forget about the real purpose of our life. So just going deep inside ourselves and just and think about it this way. We realize so many things around us. We can use it. I'm not saying no, but it's not a necessity, and then just try to think about it from that point of view, if it's necessary to have it, because you're gonna create a lot of clutter, and clutter too with the thing that we talked about before, the feng shui and the energy flow. Clutter can create a lot of energy stuck in the house. So if we really don't use these kind of things, just try to give it away. Try to give it to someone who use it. Try to stay out, keep your home clutter free from all this kind of stuff. And I used to get a lot of stuff. I go find things on sale. I just go buy it because it's on sale, and I go put it in the house, and I realize I didn't use it, and then I have to give it back again to my family, my sister, somebody. But I learned this over the time. Now we're trying to realize why we were stuck in this circle, because there were no such a thing. Now we have all this ability to learn together and to grow in a beautiful society. Free ourselves from all the stress that we thought, it's a necessity. And we're going to realize life is very simple, really. It doesn't need a lot to care about. Look at Naomi. She's everywhere. Every month she go in different country. You carry a small bag, huh? And she travel a lot, and she's happy. And I'm so happy to get to meet her a couple of times. And she's a blessing. The thing that you're doing, and no one can do with money. Doesn't really buy all this kind of thing that you create for all of us.
That's a good point, Kausar and Giovanna. What is a space for life, and everything that Giovanna said is true. It's not only money. It's I know, like in P3000 or Education 3000, so many people, they give their time, their talent, and they don't receive money. But what do we receive? We receive joy, solidarity, friendship, knowledge. We expand. We have so much knowledge. Every day we learn something. We investigate. Yes. We have study group, and then the programs are full of information that, of course, we have to research and share. Nature, plant trees, drawing, art, express yourself, sing. There is so much we are discovering again life, I think.
Yeah.
And that money is not everything. It's not everything. It's part of a good exchange, and of course we need it for now. Maybe in the future it will change, because with consciousness, more consciousness, less money you need. Then it will be just exchange and do your purpose of life, because you do it with your joy and your talent. It's going to be so different. So now it's a transition, and please enjoy it. That's true. Talking about transition, the next slide is transition.
Yes.
Sustainable consumption and production. local company replace in part of the long and unnecessary transport of goods. This is exactly what you were saying. National resource for development and local society welfare and information. So basically, instead of going to the hospital, just go to the local doctor in the area, try to ask him if you have a fever, do some test, always have your blood exam, and make sure that you're happy, go for a walk, eat a good food. Whenever you're stressed out, just don't talk to anyone, just go for a walk. I mean, there is so many simple things that we can create for ourselves, not to stuck in this kind of lifestyle where everything. I mean, and a spiritual level, I have seen so many block in certain societies where we can go. We can go in a spiritual level so high in our intensive, but certain fears stuck in there, and fears is not from spiritual level. Fear is from
Hola,
I
hola.
think- I'm thinking that Kosar, she froze again. But as she was talking, isn't it like fear is the opposite of what we will want to express, like it's all the love that she was talking about. But I'm thinking that she was talking about using some local companies, and that's what we were talking about, the farm markets and all the things that we have immediately. And also when you talk about this and you talk about the transport of goods, I have been in all this research, I have been noticing that how much food, for example, we lose in all this transport, and how much food also we waste. So I'm thinking that when you do things locally, all these long processes of transportation, of handling, because food needs to be handled and things like that, are reduced in order for us to save more production, save time, and it's when it's done locally, it's kind of better for that. And okay, national resources for development and local social welfare. So if you want to talk more about that, I'm thinking that we're in a transition right now. We have been observing all what is happening. We have been observing what are our flows regarding the economy, or what is happening right now. And with all these little tips, and hoping that it's going to be help from all these national resources, and encouragement to the local economy and the welfare, so we could be in a very good shape. So I'm thinking that information is a very, very important part of what is happening right now, because as we were researching all this subject, I have been reading, and I have seen part of the movie that Kausar was telling, and knowing what we're going through help us getting this consciousness.
Exactly.
Consciousness.
Yeah, that's
In while when we get this consciousness, and we can see all the bigger picture, not just the our part. I mean, when we think about our part, we're thinking about okay, what am I doing, how is my budget and everything. Okay, it of course it'll help us go through our own life, but if we are talking about something for the whole humanity, and a change in education, in economy, I'm thinking that we will have to see all the global picture as well. So in this kind of information, what we're doing here, like in education 3000 we're just getting informed of what is happening, so we can notice that, and we can choose, and we can probably make some changes.
The fourth one is fair trade.
Fair trade.
Yes.
Actually, you can see all of them are interconnected.
Everything is interconnected, and fair trade has been a part of this social solidarity economy. Yes. And it says that enables smaller producers and growers based in developing countries to compete on a level playing field. To participate in fair trade, you have to commit to paying sustainable prices, which cannot fall below the market value. What I understood from while studying this regarding the fair trade is that this allows small little producers to kind of not compete. I know that compete would be a very big word when you're talking about competing with these big food producers, for example, regarding the small farm markets. But when you talk about fair trade, a very important thing is that the prices will kind of be fair for all of them. I mean, for small ones and for bigger companies as well, it would be the same. So as consumers, they are asking us to commit, kind of to pay a little raised prices probably, but will support all these little small markets or local markets that are being opened. That should be something a little fair. So for fair trade, and there's a big list of pros and cons, and then I would like to just go over this very 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 quick. That let's go for the pros. It says that there's an excellent wage system in place, and that's regarding the fair prices that are going to go towards those markets. The community benefits extend to more than just basic needs. We were talking about local consumers, local production as well. And then discrimination is not allowed. Yes, so many markets will be open for everyone. So child labor can be reduced. Social conditions can dramatically improve in all small areas as well. It allows small businesses owners to become internationally competitive. Organic techniques are often used to create fair trade products. And when they talk about organic products, it's because they are kind of products that are not processed as other big companies' production, because they are immediately consumed. Yes, immediately consumed. So we can just do that. And then producers are assured a minimum price no matter what happens. That's a very important thing. And multiple products are available. Okay, and obviously it has the cons, and there are natural limits to the success that can be achieved, and it's because of the high prices as we were talking, and the amount product choice is reduced. And I understand that, because sometimes the local producers go to try to compete in markets where there's so many other products, even with lower prices. And you can see here you can notice here. I mean, when I was living in South America, in my country, you couldn't notice this, because there were not many products in the market to be sold. Yes. But here you can notice there, if you're a small company, it's a little difficult to compete with that. But if this fair trade could be encouraged. So there's little accountability enforced on producers. you know, if the local market is not supported, it's going to be it's going to have a small production as well. But in the standards of the community developing have lapsed over the years, and there is no drive to create better efficiencies. Okay, so there's some cons and pros to this fair trade, but I'm thinking that it's a very good idea to support these local markets in the small growers and farmers.
In the fair trades, the government has to set better requirement for a
Yes.
certain product. I mean, if they do fit certain requirement, they will be able to shipment to certain place. But we realize that the open market from China, and it's the cheapest one. It's everything is made in China now nowadays, and we realize there's so many kind of quality, especially when it comes to food. Something to wear, and if it's polyester or if it's bad brand, or quality or wherever, you realize that you can tell. But the thing that people eat without noticing the material, the stuff in the food, that they had very low quality of food product without certain qualification, or watching over that. This is really what it hurts me the most. I realize a lot of, especially a lot of society, just because it's cheaper, they try to get different brand or a certain product. They don't even have any qualification for it, and then we don't know what's the really inside of it. And then with all this preservative and all this things inside of it, can be really big harm for our life, through the especially the health aspect out of it. And we're realizing that a lot of people having memory problems, memory loss, and it's all related to the ingredients in the food, and to the bad to the malnutritions that they do have a certain lifestyle now, where they don't, some kids, they don't even eat vegetables anymore. So all these kind of things that we really need to consider. The government has to really put strategies on certain qualification about certain food, and what should be contained and what should not contain, because all this kind of snack and stuff that you can get from the food nowadays, oh my gosh, it's terrible. And you see a lot in the market. You see everywhere it's in the market. It's all made in China, most of it.
Yes. No. We're going beginning to talk about the blue economy.
Yes.
I'm gonna just put a little bigger the image, so we can see that everything is related to the oceans, of course. And you could just take a look, Kawsar.
Okay, blue economy. Use smart shipping for less than impact on the environment, and inclusive, and improve the life of all, based on sustainable fishing. Harness renewable energy. We can use the ocean to put the solar panels and the wind. Create job, reduce poverty, and end hunger. Especially fish is way better than meat, maybe. They say more than 70% from the green that used for feeding cows and pigs, and and animal that we eat their meats. Take action against illegal fishing, tackle marine litter and ocean pollution. Yes, we talked about plastic. Protect the community from the impact of climate change, and which one that I didn't read yet? Create job, reduce poverty, and end hunger. Exactly. So blue ocean, we can 70% of our earth is water, and we have so much to discover and then we have so much to recover as well too. In Iraq, the last month in Iraq, the water level went way down into one of the area, and they discover a new city was under the water.
Wow.
So it is something that we really still digging. I'm sure there is so much to learn from the blue ocean.
Yes, and also what we were talking about last week, or a couple of weeks ago too, in talking about ecology. I'm thinking that all of that we have been seeing, the ocean cleanup,
And it's
and
way
yes, and the shores and everything, the cleaning up of the shores, and all of these belongs to all this part of the economy, isn't it? You know, I was thinking, Noemi, that oceans are a big part in our planet. It's the most part. We are mostly water. So this blue economy should be a very important part of the planetary economy, isn't it? You know, we would have to put a big importance in this. We have been talking about saving the soil, saving everything that is related to earth. But when you think about blue economy, and you think about the biggest area, the importance of the oceans and everything, we haven't been paying as much attention as we should probably.
absolutely. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And I put algae too. We can use algae for food and for fuel and for many things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there is a whole world to explore and protect.
Yes, and conserve. That's the main
And
thing.
conserve.
Conserve, yes.
Remember, this was sent by Fariha. She's from Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is full water now. I mean, you have water up to the knees. It's all
Wow.
over. So it's a really every countries which are by the shore, especially when it's flooded, like the Nile and Bangladesh, the deltas of the rivers, we have to take care of them. And it's part of the blue economy. So I really like this slide, and I really recommend we explore more, we investigate more, and we do it.
In Egypt, I wish that to take you to Egypt one day, because Egypt is beautiful. And you were
Yeah, we
talking
will do
about
university. Remember the multi-U?
Yeah, actually, in Egypt, the river run from the south to the north, or from the north to the south, and all the temples they're on the side of the rivers, so we can visit, and all the green and vegetables all around the rivers, and you see on the other side of the rivers it's only desert. So you see the river had made Egypt really, and give it the life of it, really, because without the river there is no surviving, because there's no water. It was just a Sahara. We call it a desert. So just seeing the people around the river putting all these generators and motors to pull the water out of the river to their to the ground to water their plants, and we went there into the field and we helped them out, and it was such a pleasure to see the people still doing all this. And then when you go to the city, it's different life, but just the people who live around the river, they still do the same thing they've been doing so many years before. And it's really, it's a gorgeous thing.
When we talk about the rivers and then cleanup of the oceans and everything, it kind of reminds me that here, there's the movements of the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts. There's some very good values that you give to these little kids. My kids have been Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, both of them, and we have gone to as you're mentioning, to clean up the rivers. We have gone to clean up the ocean, and they just are encouraged since they are little, okay, to leave the place better than when you arrive. So that thing, those ideas of raising this kind of consciousness in kids regarding the planet, either being the earth or the ocean, it's very important. It's very important. And you can see all these little kids just picking the trash up and things like that. It's very important because it helps us, to to preserve to preserve what we have. So, and also there's several programs that help with all these. For example, when you see the small turtles, I don't know if you have heard about it. They see these small turtles that are along the
Beach.
ocean, the beach.
Yes.
Yes, and they have programs here in Galveston. There is one big program where you can just tell them. It's a very big foundation. I don't know what the name is right now, but it's a foundation that picks these small turtles when they are little, and they take them to a place where they can grow, before they get eaten by the by the birds and all the predators. And they just take them there, and they when they're bigger enough, they just release them into the ocean again. So
Actually, it's and here in Lebanon we have an organization about turtles and about small dolphins as well too, and we don't have so many actually, and we were trying just to try to save them, not from not being there, because it need a lot of care, and
yeah,
with the dust polluting the water and polluting the ocean, the rivers, and all the rivers come down into the shore. And we're trying and some of them, they were say one time that she told me a story and she was almost going to cry, and she said one of the turtles swallow a plastic bag,
yeah,
and she was about to die. So I mean, this kind of thing, I mean, now if you tell this story to the kids, they understand they cannot throw this stuff away, they cannot do this thing.
yeah,
But when it comes to certain companies where they do put all the in Washington D.C., we had a petition, I remember, over throwing all the chemicals from a certain company into the river on Washington, and then they polluted all the fish with the certain chemicals, and then people used to eat this fish, so
Mm,
they're all full with mercuries, and mercuries, we know what mercuries can do for us as a human. So I mean, these kind of thing, it creates a lot of awareness, creates a lot of petitions, and people learn from that, which is wonderful. Now, holistic economy, yes,
wow,
yes, I love that.
We are
Uh,
growing little by little.
yes, I love that. Actually, the holistic approach of the economy is where we need to really look from the thing from all perspective. Actually, we used to meditate, and I used to tell the kids, just think about blue. And so people think about blue ocean, blue sky, blue pen, blue color. So you think about so many things that you have in blue, maybe your blue dress, whatever. So if I just tell you, close your eyes and think blue, 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 you're gonna think so many things comes to your mind just from one word, blue, and everyone's gonna explain it the way they can imagine it. So just by doing this simple exercise, we realize that holistic is everything for connect to each other, and then you cannot separate one thing from others. So which is mean, I mean, you cannot separate your lung from your heart, and your heart from your kidneys, and all that. So if I need to put it in a big pictures for the economy in my life, I mean, my kitchen, my home, I mean, my bedrooms, my living room, all that, It's all connected, and make it bigger. It's all the community, and bigger is all the countries, and at the end, it's all the globe. If I need to think about all that, what we were talking about now, from the point where green economy, blue economy, recycle economy, holistic has to think about them all together at once. So if I really wanted to go green economy, do I do anything bad to the green economy in this case? I have to think about recycling material. If I'm using recycling material, if I'm harming any other part of the green or blue. So combining all this thing together on one thought and have a higher consciousness to do such a thing, this is what we're really trying to aim here for. So a holistic economy is everything with love, as you see it at the big heart compared to the money. So love is the key to do all that, and just try not to harm whatsoever. Just not to do any harm. Whenever you get to do anything, if you think that you're doing any harm, you don't have to do it at all. So even for nature, for human, for anything. So we realize so many things that we realize in our life, it has a side effect of it. So if we study the side effect of the thing, and we realize the other part is the more value for it. Let's say for the people who treated for cancer, we know cancer kill all the good cells and the bad cells, not only the cancer cell, right? That when you go for chemo. So we realize the chemo can make the body really, really weak, and you lose all the immunity. So, and then still people do it, and they know it's bad. But why? Because they know that it can kill cancer as well too. So trying to go over the side effect with whatever that chemo can do, just to get some benefits to kill the cancer. This is why people do the treatment. But if I know there is another medicine for cancer, it doesn't have that side effect, I have to think about it now. And this is how we really wanted to think about it. Not only medication. I'm saying side effect. There is so many side effects of my mental thought, the fear that I have raised myself into, the culture that I have grown into, where it separates me from other society. I wanted to be more open. I wanted to grow more. I wanted to be more holistic in a way that I can really discover all what's in there and grow in my conscious with all that. So this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I really like to do eventually.
Yes, I know. And then this reminds me that next week we're gonna have all this holistic view with in self sciences and self development. So don't miss, because that's gonna be the last of our program.
Yes,
Yes. Society for Peace. So
yes.
For next week, don't forget that.
And when we
see how it's linked. The fair economy and conscious economy will go with personal growth, because at the end it's all linked together.
Yes.
Do you want to read the holistic economy, dear Giovanna?
Yes, we hold these truths to be self-evident. We live in a living universe. We are biocosmic beings, interconnected with all other life. We are in a time of great transition in our planet, where old patterns are dying and new paradigms are emerging. Yes. We each have the capacity and call to the consciously participate in the co-creation of our future. So that's what we're talking about. Yes, everything begins in us. Everything that we were talking about, beginning from sports and now in the holistic economy. So everything begins in our awareness and our consciousness in ourselves.
And now let's go to the next one. It's this one.
Sacred of gifted economy. The gifted economy.
The core principle. Which one should we do first? Let me see here.
That's what we were talking about, the living universe, and then.
Okay, so this one is still the holistic one.
Yeah.
the living
Mhm.
universe and the biocosmic beings. So you just type
The whole beast.
holistic economy and you have all the information. Is great. Yeah, they
Yes.
say we are time of the great transition, and it's true.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
And we're going to talk a little more. Do you want me to read this? I'm thinking that I can. For the past 300 years or so, science has built the universe as essentially non-living, as its foundations, and made up of primarily inert matter and an empty space. The view has led to rampant materialism and global environmental degradation. To transform our planetary crisis, we need to move past a paradigm of separation and exploitation and learn to live sustainably on Earth. That's
Yes.
yes, that's what all that we were talking about. That we're discovering that universe is not just matter that doesn't have life, but life is in everything. Life
Exactly.
is life are us. Life is Earth. Life are oceans and every living creature. Even life is in rocks. Life is in everything here. So all the creation is life. And when we talk about the living universe and the place that we're holding here as human beings, that I'm thinking that our responsibility is just regain or remember that we are these conscious livings here, that we have to be aware and we have to create all this consciousness in the humanity to see that we are part of this living universe, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Cosmic being. This is who we are.
Yes.
You want to read it?
Our
Yes.
identity is immeasurable, larger than our biological self. We are a vessel more than a skin and encapsulated being, seeing ourselves part of the fabric of creation, awaken our sense of connecting within, and compassion for the total of life. Discover that we are deeply connected participant on the continuous co-arising of the entire universe, transform feeling of existential separation into experience of subtle community as a bi cosmic being. So basically, we are all over the place. We are not only, when we consider ourselves between the spirit and the soul, and if we really wanted to go and tell the difference between spirit and soul and a human body, and the connection between the three, and how we can get all this collective consciousness, we realize what we're reading here, it's all inside of us, and we're all connected somehow, the secret of gifted economy. The gifted economy represent a shift from consumption to contribution, transaction to trust, scare,
Scarcity.
yes, scarcity to abundance,
Scarcity.
isolation of community. Okay. I mean, the way of thinking about the sacred economy, you learn it from the wisdom and treasure of all these people who they were some kind of idealistic to you. And I know you, Naomi, you think way more deep into this kind of thing, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you read some kind of philosopher, for certain philosopher, and I used to read a lot when I was little to Gibran Khalil Gibran, and he has a beautiful book that I think most of the people know it, called The Prophet. Yes. And I when I used to read it, I was so little. I was like, where he get all these senses from? Where he get this vision? And I always thought, I mean, this person, he always have his own mind, his own place that he have to travel to. I remember one time I visited his museum here in Lebanon, and a beautiful mountain trail. next to the cedars, and I sit next to one of his portraits, sitting forever, and just watching this portrait and thinking what he was thinking when he was drawing this portrait. And one of the artists passed. He said, "You've been here for a while. What you doing?" I was like, I'm just thinking what he was thinking, where he got all this information from. And I get the answer in this moment. I mean, I realize how can the connection of all that can happen, I mean, it's all in us. I mean, this beautiful soul can feel everything from, from all these little tiny thing to whatever is the consciousness, how far it can go. And I learned it over the time doing the hypnosis. Sometimes, under the hypnotherapy sessions, and when my patients talking to me and telling me the story, and if they were in different dimension saying this information just to heal themselves, I can see with them the exact vision. I can live the moment with them because I can tap into their consciousness, and we can share this information together, and it's very clear to me. But I didn't learn this just because I wanted to learn it. I learned it because I really was able to just go into that secret gift of our society. I mean, some people when they hear me talking about this, they were like, "Oh yeah, no kidding." And then when they come and do the session with me, they realize how vivid their information that they can get into, and to just to clear some problems or situation they got stuck into it. And it's very simple. Life is really simple. And then we heard about this so many times, we didn't believe it. Now, because we experience it, we know it's right, and we know it's true. So sacred gifted economy is what making this programs come to life, because we know it's about time to bring it into the society. It's our time, it's our mission to get this project done, because a lot of people doing the same thing that we're doing, and then we really need to move with the bigger force of love, so we can save our humanity and Earth, for sure. And this is what actually my main concern. Actually, it's to spread the word of this project, and this set a great example for the people to move on. Because I'm sure that we can, if we can vision it, set a vision for it. I'm sure it's a blueprint to make it happen. And then we're already here, have the platform. The platform, it's really not hard to maintain and to make. We just need some more money. We were talking about money, right? So I'm sure we can make it, and I'm sure we can get it. And I know there's so many people believe in this kind of work, and I'm sure they're gonna call you. If it's not today, it's gonna come tomorrow, and I'm sure all this gonna happen in a perfect time for it.
Yeah, actually, there is a saying in French: you have to give to receive.
Absolutely.
You have to give in order to receive. So it's exactly what we do, and this is why I like shift from consumption to contribution. We are here to contribute, and we give, and then we receive a lot.
Yeah.
And then we give again, and we receive a lot. And people
Exactly.
say, "But I have no talent or no abilities." Not true. Everybody on the face of this earth has a talent, has an ability, has something special that nobody has. And why do we have it? To give it. And that way we start the circular economy, the sacred economy.
It's a cycle of love.
Yes.
Yes.
When you talk about these laws of abundance that we have, we address when we are talking about spiritual expansion and everything, but this is actually a circular motion too. Like if you talk about one thing that we didn't address is the spiritual economy, but I have a book that I have read, and I forgot to mention here. It's from Eric Butterworth. Okay. This is Eric Butterworth is from the line of the new spiritual thought, and he talks about a spiritual economy, and he explains very well this what Noemi you're talking about, this cycle of
Mm.
abundance, that whatever energy you put on this cycle of abundance, it just impulses the wheel, and then it keeps it flowing, and that's how we are thinking about the economy here. It keeps it flowing, and it you give and then you receive, because this impulses you and it gets back to you, and it goes back to you, and actually it also improves the abundance in all the
You, you
planets
know,
too.
and on this one here, we talk about long karma and short karma as well too. And then Deepak Chopra has a great book on that too, on this, especially attracting abundance and exchanging of the money. So a lot of us, because we were givers most of our time, we don't think about money. And then when it comes to money, we say, oh, we don't need it. No, we really need the money. And I learned that over the time, because whenever you say that you don't need it, it's going to go away from you. And really, on this lifetime, really, the money is a big issue for so many people and so many poverties. And then the economy, that the way they planted, it created more poverty. It didn't create less poverty. So we're trying now to sacrifice the new society with the this new economy, just trying to get out of what we had. And it's really bad. I mean, if really wanted to go deep into every situation and study all the cases and see how we can recover, we realize what we were doing was really bad. So secret economy, I remember when I studied what you call pranic healing. Pranic healing, they set the courses over the time on 6 levels or 5 levels. One of the levels, they do teach you how to deal with money. And one of the thing, actually, the church does it too, and most of the religious does it as well too, where you need to pay at least 20 to 30% of your gross income to the community, or to the and donate your money to certain organization and stuff. So by doing that, you're giving, so you can get more. And then I learned another thing from one of my friends. She said when she used to make the check, she used to let's say it was $250.90. She would make it 251.
Okay, the check is higher, right? Is that what I understood? Giovanna, your microphone.
Yes, the check is higher. The check is higher, and then that's what I understood. And also when you talk about checks, and I remember a friend that she also, in every check that she had, she put the word thanks. So those are so little tricks that we are doing in order to create our abundance, like to put our attention to that, what is going to increase, and that's going to remind every one of us that we are living in a world of abundance. Because if we're talking about where the things come from, probably we're going to talk about it later when you talk about the self-development. But everything comes from one place, as you mentioned, in also Kausar. When we're talking about money, we're talking about energy. Energy is all that we are. Energy is all that is. Yes. Then we live in an abundant world, and it's a matter of tapping in that place as well, to think, put our attention in all these little things that that actually create and gives us the idea of our abundance. Yes, not to put. I'm thinking that the sacred economics. I didn't read this book, but I'm thinking that it kind of points us towards this. Towards this, we have been checking from regular economy, and we are reaching to this area, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
that's a
am
beautiful
very,
program.
yes,
If you want to
yes,
check this book, it's called Sacred Economics, The Currency of Life. And please write down it or take a screenshot or a picture. Aileen,
yes,
Aileen, Workman.
yes,
So here you have a couple of quotes. Do you want
yes.
to read it?
Yes, sure. It says sacred economics is written from a non-denominational, spiritually driven perspective and attempts to explain why humans feel drawn to creative change and how, in the interest of becoming the best, we can collectively be. Uh-huh.
No, this one.
The other one, yeah. We might consciously direct our attention toward the purposeful design of a more compassionate, cooperative, and abundantly flowing economic system. It encourages us to move beyond our present systems gridlock by emulating the successes of nature, thereby opening a channel for tapping the myriad possibilities within the infinitely creative eternal flow that is life. And that's what we were talking, and that's what I was talking to you when they say that the spiritual aspect of economics, the sacred aspect of economics, everything is based in all the many possibilities in the eternal flow. We're in an abundant world, as I mentioned, and again, everything reduces to be aware and to be conscious. When we are aware and we are conscious that we are in an abundant world, when that we are part of that abundance, I'm thinking that that is the key for for our abundance, for getting the money that we want, getting the car that we want, getting the house that we want, or just being happy with the little things that life gives us. So and I'm thinking that it's a very interesting way of seeing economy.
I really like it.
Exactly.
And you
Yes.
can see the three keywords here: compassionate,
Yes,
cooperative, and abundantly flowing economic system. This is what really we can aim at. And that's part of the 12th pillar of the 30 pillar society, definitely. And this is a gift economy. It's a little summary. Maybe we can just read the quote
Okay.
because of the
Socrates.
time. That's more than 2 hours, girls.
Socrates.
On economy.
Socrates
Amazing.
once said, "An exam in life is not worth living. It would expand," and he's taught by suggestion. The unexamined society is not worth living. Alien Workman, Sacred Economy, the Currency of Life. Actually, Socrates, he's the teacher of Pluto. He was the main teacher. So he taught them a lot of things, and just reading some quotes of, I put it on a document as well. So on the book. So read the book. You're gonna learn a lot more about this, and I'm sure that you're gonna love what's in there. I really have to add more about secret economy on this chapter. Um, as the thing that if you can take it from wise people, again, I mean, we realize that just giving a little of what you have into your society, you're gonna have a lot more in return. And this thing we learn it over in the church and all different religions. They do teach you that, but sometimes we forgot. Fariha, yes.
Yay, Fariha!
Yes, we love you,
Bye.
Fariha.
How are you doing?
Thank you for all that.
We love
Yes.
you.
Yes.
She's amazing. She's
So
really
please
amazing.
take notes. Aileen Workman, Sacred Economics, the Currency of Life. And then just to finish with some consideration, as we said, it's not only money. Economy is abundance of happiness, time, friends, talent, abilities, new knowledge, emotion, but nice ones.
Mhm.
Green, contact with nature. Oh, I have one here, but I can't read it. And to fully live or to live our life. Definitely. And
Yes.
so,
Well, on
and to
this,
your family as well.
I just want to end up with with all that as well too. You know, as much as I enjoy, I used to travel a lot when I used to work in a hospital. I used to wait for the vacation to travel, and I realized, oh my gosh, it's a only. I mean, you know, sometimes you think that you wanted to go to the same place that you went before because you enjoy your life to the max, and then if you go the second time, you don't see the same people, you don't see the same thing. I mean, you're not with the same people as well too, so you don't enjoy the same thing. You cannot recreate that moment. Okay, creating the moment is not about the place, it's not about the money. And I learned from the picture you just show with the people getting the crop, that for me, like, yeah, this picture, for me, just volunteering and doing all this free thing all over the place and traveling to volunteer. Sometimes I pay my own ticket to go and travel to volunteer. So I enjoy my life to the maximum.
Yes.
Money cannot buy me nice vacation only, but volunteering and people around you can buy you a lot of great happiness, because you feel you enjoy your time, you help another person, and you made your time more wisely to create this beautiful boundaries around you. I mean, to protect nature and protect yourself from all that. So June 22nd, it's my daughter's birthday.
Yes.
The
You
universe
want
is
to read it? That was
today.
yesterday.
Yes. The
Yeah.
universe is saying to you today, never discount yourself by comparing yourself to other, but rather focus upon your own view of yourself and love who you are. Focus on being you, highest and best self, and speak and live your truth. That's really a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for
Thank
you beautiful,
you.
for you, Joanna, and the beautiful team. Please watch this video.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
And
you. And
we're gonna see you next week for the last petals. Oh my
yes,
God, the
last
last
petal,
petal.
the 13th pillar, the 13th
Yes.
pillar is going to be at self sciences and self
And Saturday.
development.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
don't forget about it, because we're
Yeah.
going to we're reaching to the end of this program. All the programs are going to be in our page, and I'm thinking that it's going to be everything. You're going to be able to see all of these programs. You just check in education3000.info, of our page in English, education 3000 in different languages as well, where it's going to be that's our page in YouTube, and it's going to be recorded. So don't forget to be with us. We're going to be
So
waiting
this
for
it
you.
won't be the last program. It's an entire new society.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we
This
will
is
be together for at least 50 more years. You
this
take
is
care and see you
All
next
right,
week.
teacher.
Thank you, Kausar.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Love you.
Giovanna. Thank you,
Take
everybody.
care. I
And
love you all there,
to
people
you
there.
love
on the
you.
other side of the screen, because it's a co-creation and we are all together. Thank you, Fariha, and all the team. See you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Take care.